shine inside Villa Park. This ground, a cathedral of semi-final memories down the years. The crowd is a capacity 48,000, and what a pity so many true supporters couldn't get tickets today. But the team news is that Everton are unchanged, and Bob Latchford, who has scored in every round, is named as substitute. And this semi-final, a dream come true for players like Martin Hodge, the goalkeeper, and number 7 Gary Megson, who were both playing for Plymouth Argyle a year ago, and also for number 3 John Bailey, who was at Blackburn. West Ham also unchanged, and theirs is also a 4-4-2 formation. Frank Lampard is not fit, so Ray Stewart continues at number 2 at right back, and at number 7, 17-year-old Paul Allen, who's still in the England youth team, is in the midfield 4. John Lyall, the West Ham manager, led them to triumph at Wembley in his very first season in charge of the team, 1974-75. Gordon Lee, the Everton manager, very familiar surroundings for him. He used to be an Aston Villa player. And the referee this afternoon is Colin Seal from Carlisle. The pitch, as you can see, is very bare in the centre. But it's Everton wearing all blue to start the semi-final, playing from right to left, and West Ham are wearing all white, and Brian Kidd tries a shot from the kickoff. Paul Brush, the West Ham fullback. Stuart Pearson is number 8, that was Devonshire, looking for David Cross. Brooking. Wide on this side is Stewart, and then he's got Holland on this side as well, that's Stewart. In goes Pearson. Ross didn't make it, Andy King did. Typical attractive West Ham move from the start. Pearson again the target, that's Billy Wright with him. Stuart Pearson, who played in 2 FA Cup finals for Manchester United. And Billy Wright, whose uncle Tommy Wright played in 2 FA Cup finals for Everton. Kidd making himself available. This is Trevor Ross. Pat Holland's tackle and his touch. Cross. Foul by Wright on Cross. Taken quickly, here's Brooking. Looks for Pearson, who got away from his marker. And he was looking towards the linesman, Pearson. I think he thought he might have been flagged offside, but he wasn't. And Everton were nearly caught. And Brooking very much in evidence. Pearson. Oh, given away. Peter Eastoe is playing up front despite the number 6 on his back for Everton. He's playing up front as Eastoe with Brian Kidd. Wright is taking Pearson. And Lyons is marking Cross. That's the way that Everton are defending against West Ham's 2 strikers. This is John Gidman. On by Kidd. Nearly by Eastoe. That's Billy Bonds. Stewart. He's got Pat Holland here, number 11. Devonshire's made a run on the left, way across the other side. This is Stewart. Pearson. Oh, Holland is in. And that's already offside. Holland was already offside before he crossed the ball. Cross just rolled it in, but Pat Holland clearly offside when he received the ball. Header by Bonds. Foul, in fact, as well. Five minutes gone, and the Everton number 5, Mike Lyons, is making his way forward for the free kick. Alvin Martin is picking him up, the opposite number 5. Those were the two players who jumped for it, and Lyons was penalised. That's Gidman. Devonshire leaving it for Brooking. Cross. Pearson in with Wright, foul by Wright. David Cross, one of the targets. Taken by Brooking, on by Pearson, away by Asa Hartford. Here's Andy King. Kidd. Well played by Everton. King again. Eastow's made the run through the middle. Oh, and Bonds missed it, and Eastow is through. And Parks has made a crucial save. The most expensive goalkeeper in the world was called upon early. Here's Ross. Hartford. Bailey. Parks coming for this and taking it well. He'll have confidence now after making a save as important as that. Eastow was through because Bonds made the error. Eastow's shot was parried by Parks, and they all held their breath before it went just, for West Ham anyway, the safe side of the post. Crossing Lyons underneath this. The West Ham man won it. It's Eastow. And put up by Stewart. The free kick quickly taken. Here's Bailey. Kidd. Bailey. Eastow now in the centre, so is Megson. King has made the run down the left, and it was young Paul Allen getting an important touch. Kidd. Oh, what a good cross by Kidd. That's Eastow heading it back. Hartford tried to get in. Devonshire trying to get it away. Ross. And now West Ham could break through. Brooking. Pearson to his right, Cross to his left. Four defenders back. Devonshire also trying to get forward on the left, and there he is. Brush has gone down outside him. That's his cross. Well taken. Delightful counter-attack by West Ham. Initiated by who else but Trevor Brooking. All very fast and furious and rather edgy. It's a typical semi-final so far. Here's Kidd. That's a measured ball. Bailey making a run in the centre is Andy King. There he is, get it run on. Eastow! What a good save by Parks. His second from the same player. And Peter Eastow must have thought he'd scored. The ball played in from the left. And a good dummy early on, which let him run by King, and Eastow got the touch, and Park's concentration, magnificent. And here are West Ham with Devonshire. Four other players in the attack. Brooking. Bit of a tangle between Brooking and Hartford. Now it's Kidd. Oh, he couldn't take it in his stride, John Gidman. Allen for West Ham, wanting somebody to make a run. It's Cross. Heading it down. Pearson is in there. Cross again. Holland. Pearson pulls away far post. Allen to Stewart. There's Pearson. Nice the way that David Cross took the defenders away to leave Pearson clear. There, and he lost out. Here's Stewart. Still Ray Stewart. Save! Well, the shot was good to start with, but the save by Hodge matched what Parks had done earlier. Ray Stewart hit it so well, it was flying into the top corner, and the goalkeeper turning it round. Brooking with the corner. Foul. Free kick to Everton. Well, Martin Hodge in the Everton goal will be pleased with that save. Had an uneasy league match here earlier in the season. It's blasted back by Ray Stewart. And Billy Wright complaining, and David Cross saying, calm it down. So no score, but fine goalkeeping at either end has been a feature of this first half. That was Easto, and a free kick against Alvin Martin. King to Harper. Now it's Kidd. Well, half an hour gone, and it's a duel in the sunshine, and it would be very difficult to separate the two participants at this stage. We've seen a fine save from each goalkeeper, and some snappy midfield play, which is virtually cancelled out that of the other side. Free kick to Everton, given against Pearson. Yes, you. Martin. Well, that's a bit short, and Parks had to come all the way, and he almost kicked the ball into Bonds. Alvin Martin's back pass not very well weighted. Hartford. Oh, and they all missed that apart from Martin. It's certainly a penalty. Devonshire is complaining and being shown the yellow card, but a penalty has been given. Well, I think that must have been given for a push. The ball was played in from the left. Andy King went for the ball with Alan Devonshire, who may have shoved him out the way rather, and although the ball ran on and was cleared, the referee must have given the penalty for a push by Devonshire on King. And I think we're going to see a change of penalty taker when the referee finally finishes the bookings, because Trevor Ross has given the job up, having missed the last one against Bolton last week. And when Devonshire is finally booked for protesting, I think we're going to see Brian Kidd take the penalty. So Kidd against Parks. And Everton are in the lead. Brian Kidd the scorer, and it went right in the middle of the goal. Goalkeepers have to go one way or the other, and Parks went to his right, and the shot went virtually where he'd been standing. And still West Ham protest about the referee's decision. Ray Stewart has gone across. Devonshire's already been booked. The referee is threatening to send Stewart off. The Everton fans celebrating, Brian Kidd getting the congratulations, and now Ray Stewart's name goes in the book. Two West Ham players protesting and being cautioned for a controversial penalty award. So West Ham go a goal down, and Everton, the sound of their supporters fills Villa Park. And the lonely man in the middle, Colin Seal, the referee, who had no hesitation in pointing to the spot. A decision which may well influence the rest of this semi-final. And now a yellow card is shown again. Trevor Ross being called to the referee, and tempers rising here. Ross going in the book this time. Here's Brooking. Away by Wright. Here's Kidd. King. And there goes Eastoe. And Everton's spirit soaring now. Oh, that's awkward. Stewart's in trouble. And I think West Ham will be very glad to hear the half-time whistle. Brooking. Oof. Ross again, he could go here if he's not careful. He's been booked already and he's brought Brooking down, and the referee's got a problem on. Trevor Ross has just been given the yellow card and he was late on Brooking. Now, what does the referee do? Only one man since the war has been sent off in a semi-final, and the referee gives Ross the benefit of the doubt. Devonshire. Allen. With Stewart. Pearson. Stewart. Brooking. And the end of the first half, with Everton leading by 1-0. And what a controversial moment that was. 4 minutes before half-time, the ball played in, and I can only think the referee thought there was a push there, which gave Brian Kidd the chance to score from the penalty and left John Lyle's West Ham feeling at half-time rather hard done by. A group of Birmingham schoolboys improving their football ability under the Football Association's Super Skills coaching scheme, which was on view at Wembley on FA Cup final day last year and will be so again this year. The idea is to encourage boys between 8 and 16 years of age to practice the individual techniques of the game. So Alan Devonshire, whose foul on Andy King was the reason for the penalty, sees his side start the second half a goal behind. Header by Lyons, and here's Kidd, who scored from the spot. Devonshire's header, then cross. Here's Bailey. Looking for Eastoe, who gave West Ham a few problems early on. And away by Lyons. Kidd letting it run to Hart, and that was a nice dummy. And just one defender too many. It was Billy Bonds on Asa Hartford, and a nice spirit too between the two players. Devonshire. Pearson stretching to make anything of that, but Devonshire in full stride, picks it up again and takes them all on. What a run by Devonshire! And now he wants a penalty and won't get it. Little shove in the back it might have been, but in the end, Bonds and Martin between them, seeing the ball back to safety. Everton still leading 1-0, but West Ham looking all the time for a way to get a grip on the game. They're certainly doing so in midfield slowly, but they do need rather more from their front two, I would think, at this stage. Bonds and Martin have pushed forward to help them. Taken by Brooking. Up went Billy Bonds. What a save! Bonds sunk to his knees then, and Hodge produces his second outstanding save of the match. Bonds' header was bound for the far corner, and this time it's the left hand that turns the ball round. Away by Gidman. Brooking. Oh, they're all in there again, including Alvin Martin. And well played by Andy King. And now Kidd. And now Hartford. Now will Everton catch West Ham on the break? Not this time. Well, West Ham making a tremendous fight of it, and this fellow Bonds is leading it. But Brooking, for once, his control wasn't sure, and here's Eastoe to Ross. Kidd over on the left wing. Ball was out. Stewart, offside against Cross. "15 minutes gone in the second half. Everton lead by 1-0, but that won't be conclusive unless they can get a second and put the match beyond West Ham's reach, because at this stage West Ham are having more of the game, even though they've been forced back just for the moment. Hartford. This is the first time in the second half that Everton have really threatened the West Ham goal. They do have a free kick. Taken by Hartford. Oh, Eastoe! He was given an absolutely free header. As Hartford curled the free kick in, nobody picked up Eastoe, and Parks had to go down smartly to his left on an afternoon in which the goalkeepers are increasingly distinguishing themselves. That's Stewart, that's Pearson, that's off the foot of Bailey. Holland is coming in. Hopeful shouts for handball, but it's a corner. Away by King, but how far? Driven off by Ray Stewart, appeals for handball. I think it was Ross that was flattened by the shot, and West Ham thought it was a handball. Driven again, and a deflection too. The second shot was by Devonshire, and it caught another player's head, and Hodge still got behind it. But what about the first shot from Ray Stewart? That's the one that flattened Trevor Ross. Oh, what a tangle on the far side, and the linesman having to go in and separate the two players. It's all getting out of hand again. Brian Kidd and Ray Stewart getting very, very involved. Right under the linesman's nose, and Ray Stewart's already been booked. The linesman telling the referee exactly what happened behind his back. It was Kidd and Stewart who tangled and wouldn't let each other go. And the referee is going to show the red card. The referee is showing the red card. Now what's going to happen here? Brian Kidd is standing on the touchline wondering if it's him. Brian Kidd, who was sent off earlier this season against Wigan in the FA Cup, and Ray Stewart, the number 2 of West Ham, is also had the yellow card earlier today, and the linesman and Kidd are still talking, and still the arguments go on, and finally Kidd is being urged to go off. Brian Kidd is sent off for the second time in the FA Cup this season for fighting with Ray Stewart. And Everton now are down to 10 men. The man who scored from the penalty is sent off for fighting. And I wonder if Gordon Lee, with Kidd having gone off, will have to bring on Latchford anyway to redress the balance up front and bring somebody else off. The previous sending off in a semi-final was Nick Martin of West Brom against Ipswich in 1978. But I think that's only the second in about over 30 years. Pearson is still being checked by the referee as play goes on. This is cross. Holland. Devonshire. Another very strong run from him. Oh, a deflection on the shot might give it to Brooking, but Hodge is there first. And this goalkeeper has had a quite superb afternoon. That save from Billy Bonds, which would have made the score 1-1 had the header gone in. Well, that'll be remembered by Evertonians for a very long time. 20 minutes to go. West Ham a goal down, but still coming forward. And don't forget, they're playing against 10 men. Brooking is in space here. Pearson in the centre. Pearson's coming in. It's there. Pearson, near post. A goal superbly made by Brooking and typically tucked away by the former England centre-forward, Stuart Pearson. Brooking beat the offside trap. He was so aware of what was in the centre. He kept calm, carried the ball through and just knocked it into the near post, and Pearson scores what has to go down as a typical Pearson goal and a typical West Ham goal. The score now then, 1-1, and we're back where we started. 20 minutes to go. And for incident, this must be one of the most eventful semi-finals for some time. Hartford. Bob Latchford is warming up for the second time. Megson, Devonshire. Holland, who's played so well out there on the right. Devonshire again. And the back heel finds Holland following up. Holland's shot! Side netting. But what a great move. He began that, Pat Holland, by playing the ball down to Devonshire. He just kept running and the ball was back in his stride. And he's rapidly making himself a candidate for man of the match. 15 minutes left. Cross to Stewart. Stewart's cross. Bonds! Just couldn't stretch far enough to turn it inside the post. What a great run from the back, though, by the West Ham captain. And he's been principally responsible for this stirring second-half performance by the second division side. Substitution now by Everton. Gary Megson is going off, and Bob Latchford is coming on. Latchford has scored in every round of the FA Cup, as I was saying earlier, and he's being asked to do so again now to put Everton back where they were. Latchford, King, oh, and Andy King spoiled that. And a substitution now by West Ham. Stuart Pearson is going to hobble off, and he'll be replaced by Jeff Pike. So remarkably, the two men who've scored the goals in this semi-final are both off the field. Kidd sent off and Pearson taken off injured, and they've left the match standing at 1-1. Now Bonds for West Ham. That's meant for Pike. Billy Wright in the way. Cross. It's Wright again. Latchford had started his run and had to check. Hartford. Now Latchford. Gidman. Hartford's run down the right wing. Oh, and Brush was brushed literally aside by Asa Hartford there with the left arm. So Gidman with the throw. Easter on the near post, a chance here for Latchford. It's still free, and Latchford couldn't force it over the line. Well, West Ham's hearts were in their mouths there, and I don't think for a moment even Parks knew where it was. It was flicked on by Easto, and Latchford, with the ball free, just couldn't get the finishing touch, and it was scrambled away and finally cleared by Brooking. So with 2 minutes of normal time left, here's Paul Allen for West Ham to cross. Stewart, in goes Pike. Allen is in there! Oh, it's a goal! No, it's not, offside. The flag's up. The flag's up. Not given. The linesman on this side was flagging. As the ball was knocked on, Allen darting in, but the flag was up, and West Ham thought they had a winner, which was wiped out. On by Easto, now Latchford. Brooking. Oh, it was tremendous stuff from Brooking. Cross now, out to Devonshire. Pike is in the centre. Pike is coming in, he got pushed over, did he? Allen's shot went wide. Jeff Pike felt he was fouled in the middle. Here's Devonshire. Ray Stewart over on the right wing. Devonshire again. West Ham have controlled the greater part of the second half with this midfield play, but Everton have still got time perhaps to try once more themselves. Here's Andy King. Easto is well forward. Latchford is on this side. There goes Easto! And Parks so quickly off his line for another vital save. And West Ham are offside here, Pike and Cross. So it's beginning to look very much like a replay as Everton have a free kick deep into injury time, taken by Billy Wright. And flicked on fairly harmlessly there by Latchford. Here's Devonshire for West Ham. And Pike went to the left, and it was away by King. Rush. Looking. Allen. Cross had started his run. That was played for Billy Bonds to come through. For time, and this semi-final must go to a second match, full of incident. Much of it will be talked about for a long time. The two managers cool enough to shake hands and talk quietly about a very noisy afternoon, which saw Everton take the lead from a controversial penalty. The man who scored from it was later sent off. Pearson equalised for West Ham, and although it was largely West Ham's second half, there were moments when either side could have won the game. In fact, nobody did. And with both semi-finals having been drawn, these two teams must now replay at Ellen Road, Leeds on Wednesday night. And West Ham have gone to thank their supporters. Well, Brian, what happened?
I don't know, John, honestly. One of our lads was down, I think it was Trevoros in the box, and Martin Hodge tried to kick the ball out, aim for the halfway line. And the right back kept in, and I just went for the ball, and like we both tangled with one another, like, but it was nothing. I honestly don't know. I asked the linesman, because I think it was the linesman that got me sent off, John, to be honest.
It must have looked a lot worse than it was, because so many players go in to try and separate players, and the linesman was there trying to sort them out, and I honestly hadn't a clue what had happened. I didn't see anything happen, I wasn't aware of anything happening, and I went to my linesman, and Mr. Redfern, very, very clearly, a few words, number 9 of blue, clearly struck at an opponent. A sending off offence.
Not an easy game to referee, and it's refreshing to hear the referee's point of view. But I do think today's decisions went Everton's way. And we all accept that the referee's decision is final. He judges it as he sees it, and he cannot judge what he or his linesmen do not see. But if referees blew the whistle every time two players jumped ahead or missed the ball, you could get 10 penalties a game. On that score, I thought Alan Devonshire was unlucky. The ball's lobbed over here, and Andy King sort of backs into him as he comes forward to head it. Neither actually is at the pitch of the ball. And the referee is perfectly on the spot, and at the end of the day, I wouldn't query with his decision that he did see a push as Devonshire went forward. But the only thing that West Ham might claim is that if he was being that pernickety, there are a couple of other examples today of pushes in the other penalty area which weren't given and weren't spotted. The first one here, when the ball comes over, John Bailey, the defender you can see running back, he's really flailing out with his arms there to stop Cross getting a decent jump and head the ball backwards. That was a push and could have been construed in that way. And here's the next one now. Gidman's the man who's pushing Pike as he falls to the ground as that cross came over. So there were a couple of examples there where, as I say, if you'd been pernickety, you could say, well, maybe West Ham could have had a penalty or two themselves to balance up the other one. But, of course, they may not have been seen. And also, West Ham might have thought they'd scored the winning goal from that when an offside decision was given. And we looked at this a few times because we find that linesmen are deadly accurate in these decisions. Nearly always they're right. But when we looked at that angle, we thought that linesman was wrong, because you can see that Allen comes on a late run there and was clearly in an onside position when that ball was flicked on with the head. But then we took another look at the normal angle, and this time the mystery was solved. There's the moment the ball was headed, and you can see Trevor Brooking at the top of the picture there in an offside position and judged to be interfering with play. So once more, the linesmen were proved right. They really are deadly accurate on that. However you think they're doing the wrong thing, nearly always they're in the position to make decision, they do. Injury news, Pat Holland sadly might miss the replay because of an ankle injury. Stuart Pearson probably will be fit, and Mick Lyons with his cut eye, well, it's going to take a lot to keep him out of that replay, and I don't think it will. But we can't tell you the result of the replay, but we can tell you what happened in the other cup ties today, Bob.
Well, the closest anyone came to breaking the deadlock in the other semi-final was 4 minutes from the end when Arsenal's Brian Talbot, chasing his third successive Cup winners' medal, hit the Liverpool bar. Liverpool manager Bob Paisley said, early on we were in control, but now we must start again. And Arsenal's Terry Neal said it was a tight game, and it will be again in the replay at Villa Park on Wednesday. Today's game, incidentally, produced receipts of £192,000 from the 50,000 crowd, and that's a record for a cup tie outside the final. Up in Scotland, the cup holders Rangers reached the final again when their captain Derek Johnston scored the only goal of the game against Aberdeen. There was a bit of needle in that match, and Rangers had 4 players booked, which cost them £1,200. All 4 semi-finalists receive £3,000 from the sponsors, with £300 deducted for each booking.
Well, thank you, Bob. And while Liverpool and Arsenal were adding to their fixture problems by drawing 0-0, Manchester United had the opportunity this afternoon to move to within 2 points of Liverpool and put further pressure on them. Their opponents today were Tottenham. And before we join the action, just after the start, here's Barry Davies with a rundown on the teams.
That's the Manchester United lineup, endeavouring to keep the pressure on Liverpool. And it includes, as a starter for only the 3rd time this season, young Andy Ritchie, whose first game was indeed at Tottenham in the League Cup at the end of August. On the injured list are Lou McCurry, Jimmy Greenough and Ashley Grimes, so Kevin Moran gets a chance at substitute. He hasn't been in the first team since December. Spurs stick to the lineup, which won at Wolves and then lost at home in the North London derby to Arsenal, and that means a 3rd consecutive game at number 11 for Tony Galvin. A good first touch by Wilkins. Took the ball away from him and forced him into the error of having to stretch for it. Good battling by Nicol. Then by Houghton. Nicol again. Good header that was by McAllister under a lot of pressure. Mickey Thomas. The crowd suddenly has come to life. Here's Koppel. McAllister. This kick by Yorath. It's McElroy. Probably wish now that he'd have hit it first time. Queen up on the line in front of Barry Daines. It's curling a lot, and Daines was nowhere near it. It's Miller who got it out. Too many cooks. Wouldn't have counted anyway, an offside decision. Nicol gave it straight to Houghton. Lucky to get the second chance. That will be a corner. Caught from Paul Miller. Other than Buchan and Bailey, the rest of the United players in attacking positions. Jordan way at the back, and it got a good flick on and was finally turned in by Ritchie after it seemed that Daines had saved from McElroy. Nice moment for the youngster. So many men in attacking positions then from the corner that have been given away. Jordan at the back, there was a flick on by McElroy, Daines seemed to have it, but Ritchie seized on the rebound. Pratt. McQueen. McElroy, Thomas to his left. Faced by Hoddle. Perryman couldn't get there. Ritchie! Oh, it's a beauty! What a lovely strike! The ball came across and Perryman was unable to cut it out. Ritchie really struck it home with some venom. Wilkins. Jordan. It was a foul by McAllister. He complains, but there's no doubt that he caught Jordan's right boot. They've seen one at the Stretford end and they want to see more. Ritchie. Thomas. Delayed to cross. Here's Ritchie, and it's going in! And that's his hat-trick! All around the ground, they're applauding the 19-year-old. And he salutes the Stretford end. A great bit of credit there to Mickey Thomas, who held off before pulling the ball across, and Ritchie pushed it through to find its way in. is in danger of being given a real hiding here. Miller, oh, the ingenuity of the young man, as Miller couldn't control it. He very nearly made it with a bicycle kick, Andy Ritchie. Yorath. Ardiles. Yorath looking for the return. And the free kick has been given against Buchan. What can only be described as a shoveling action on Jones. Tony Galvin has been replaced by Jerry Armstrong, who's missed the last 3 games. Ardiles takes. Oh! And nobody moved at all, and it hit the inside of the post past the statuesque Gary Bailey, who clearly did not see McAllister. Jordan, Ritchie, stays down, but here's Wilkins, and that's number 4. Spade work done by Jordan. Ritchie went down in the move, but Wilkins was able, in spite of Barry Daines getting a hand to it, to finish the work that Jordan had started. Hoddle. That's the keeper's. Got a right hook to it. And the referee wants to come and have a few words, I think, with the Manchester United bench. Do him an injustice. He just wants a sponge. But it is pretty warm out there. Ardiles. Jones on the left touchline. Pratt down the middle. Ardiles now joining him. Armstrong right side. And here's Armstrong. Not quite what he intended, I feel. Ardiles. Pratt. Too many there. Still Pratt! And it came back off the crossbar and now over the top. Pratt thought that he had his usual something to show from a visit to Old Trafford. Perhaps emphasising that United have made quite a few mistakes at the back in the sunshine. Well, they've won the match comfortably. A result which keeps the pressure on Liverpool, and a memorable afternoon for Andy Ritchie, the second hat-trick of his career, and he will be hoping he doesn't suffer the same fate as last time when he scored 3 against Leeds last season and was dropped for the next match. Final scoreline, Manchester United 4, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Well, we've seen some very special goals in recent weeks, the best of which will be included in our Goal of the Season competition. But as we promised, and many of you have requested, we shan't be forgetting the goalkeepers. And next week, we'll be holding a Save of the Season competition, and Bob will be selecting the best 6 saves from which you can make your choice. And I expect you'll agree that the work of Phil Parkes and Martin Hodge today certainly deserves late consideration. Good night.